It's hard to imagine that these long strands of brown seaweed will be served up as a delicious meal. But that's what Brendan Smith is aiming for. He calls himself an ocean farmer, planting and harvesting underwater vegetables. At least that's what he does at the moment, but he started out as a fisherman. When he talks about his past, there's a lot of regret in his voice. He worked on industrial fishing boats plundering the sea.
I dropped out of high school when I was 14, been a commercial fisherman for decades. On the Bering Sea, I was working on the factory trawlers, tearing up entire ecosystems. Our fish was going to McDonald's for their fish with sandwich. So I was a young kid, but most destructive form of food production on the planet, producing some of the lowest quality. My history on the oceans is the history of ecological demise.
The ecological system of the North Atlantic was ruined in the early 1990s. Thousands of fishers lost their jobs and had to reinvent themselves. It took a few failed attempts before Smith was finally able to realize his dream. His nonprofit organization Greenwave subsidizes algae production.
We can't grow food the same way. We can't pollute the same way. This is zero input food. So it's the no water, no fertilizer, no feed. So it's the most sustainable food on the planet, but it's also going to be the most affordable food on the planet.
Smith has stayed true to the sea, but in the meantime he works towards long-term sustainability instead of destruction. His ocean farm covers 20 hectares. All he needed to start out was one boat and $30,000 in seed money. Sponsors helped him raise the necessary capital. At the moment, 1 kilo of algae goes for about 11 euros. He can cover his costs by selling shellfish as well. Harvesting these two products keeps him busy over the entire year. Smith developed this garden system together with a team of scientists. Charlie Yarish, professor of ecology and biology at the University of Connecticut, planted algae for many years to help keep the waters clean.
Kelp are just very beautiful organisms. They have a lot of different uses besides being important for ecosystems and biological diversity. They also have a very good economic value, especially for human consumption. That really tastes good.
The artificial reef attracts about 150 varying organisms. The kelp must grow for about 6 months before it can be harvested and eaten. And how does it taste?
It's slightly salty, it's a little sour.
Seaweed, the food of the future. That is Smith's vision. More than 40 countries have already expressed interest in his garden system. The stalks are laid in vinegar like cucumbers, and the leaves are used for seaweed noodles. Briefly blanched, they take on a dark green color. Smith's products are particularly popular in New York restaurants. In the Blue Ribbon Brasserie in the Upper West Side, Chef Martin Brock is working his magic.
The beauty about kelp is it's so rich in nutrients and everything, and you don't always have to eat it hot. You can eat it cold, you can eat it as a salad, blend it into a smoothie.
Up until now, kelp was most popular in Asian restaurants, but it might be on its way to making a worldwide career.
It has more calcium than milk, it has more iron than spinach, it is super nutritious, it has basically no fat, and it's an absolute nutrient bomb.
In New York, seaweed is trending as the latest superfood.
I feel like it's a great substitute for a pasta. You can throw a sauce on it and it fits really well. Like she was saying, the texture is amazing.
It's just lighter in calories, which is always great for us. Yeah. We feel a lot healthier, but we really enjoyed the flavor.
In the United States, people say where you are going is more important than where you are from. And Brendan Smith has his path laid out in front of him. He wants to make the world a better place.
My goal is I want to die on my boat one day. That'll be success. That is my dream. And so this has allowed me to live that dream, just to spend the rest of my life on the ocean and do something of value, actually, help feed the country, do my small part in helping address things like climate change and acidification.
Ideally, this farm would only be the beginning. His ultimate goal is to plant a string of 25 sea farms around the United States. From fisherman to ocean farmer, Brendan Smith is pleased with the direction his life has taken.